In 1954, this 12-year-old girl named April Atkins was labeled the strongest 7th grader in the world. She was doing things that to this day are completely unbelievable. Holding up a full-grown man, carrying 4 people on her shoulders. Her strength for a 12-year-old was just wild. But what's more strange is after 1954, all of these articles claim that April completely vanished from history. And as spooky as that title is, it's not entirely true. Let's see what I can find. First things first, we need to gather up any information that we know. So here's what we got. This is April Atkins. I found this in the USC archives. Now it mentions other people's names, including this girl that April's carrying on the very top. Her name is listed as Ellen Atkins, who is labeled as her sister. This is super helpful for the search. Now I also found what appears to be the only video of April Atkins. And at the start, the narrator says,
Waldo Emerson Junior High School in Los Angeles.
Waldo Emerson Junior High School. Now let's look for any historic records on April Atkins. She was 12 years old in 1954. That would make her birth year 1942. And running a search with everything we currently know, we get these results. This is where things start to get confusing. And I found this yearbook photo from 1956, 2 years after these strength photos were taken. But this is from Paul Revere Junior High School, not Waldo Emerson Junior High, which is confusing because in this video we hear the narrator say,
Waldo Emerson Junior High School in Los Angeles.
Looking up Paul Revere Junior High, it looks like it was built in 1955, which could still work. So what's likely happened is that April attended Walden Emerson in 1954. 1955, Paul Revere was built. And once that was built, April then got transferred to Paul Revere Junior High. Year-wise, all that makes sense. Let's see what else we can find. Boom, look at this. Another high school yearbook photo from 1959 from Santa Monica High School. But this time we have her middle name, April Patricia Atkins. Age-wise, this checks out. She would have been in high school in 1959. Next, I found a federal census form from 1950. Now, these are amazing because if it is the family you're looking for, it is loaded with information. But here's the next confusing part. We've got April R. Atkins, which means that the middle name is either incorrect or it's a different girl. But this one was born in 1942, so that's correct. Born in Minnesota, but living in LA, still works. And we've got her entire family's names, which is where the next confusing part happens. Here we have her dad, Leonard, who appears to have been a musician. We have her mom, Mary Jane Atkins. Of course, we've got April, and we've got her 2 sisters, Naomi Atkins and Deborah Atkins. No mention of an Ellen. However, looking further into the family, it appears that Naomi's middle name starts with an E. So I searched for her birth record and bam! It appears Naomi's middle name was Ellen. This is April Atkins' family. It wasn't uncommon for people to use their middle name as their first name. To this day, it still happens. But again, I could see why these articles would just say, oh, she vanished, she disappeared, because her ancestral records are pretty cluttered and murky. Next up, I looked through more of these photos. Now, these were commissioned by Life magazine, and very similar to our mystery skater, none of these were used in an article. We've got some shots of April hanging out on her roof, as well as sitting on the chimney of that same house. It's this beautiful mid-century house. Now, looking far off in the distance of this shot, you can see this mountain range. Now, if I can locate that mountain range, I could find this house. We know it's likely in the Santa Monica area. Thankfully, I don't have to do any of that, because back to this census form, we've got the exact house address. It's listed as 942 Embry Street. Now, looking that up on Google Earth, the house is completely different. I also did a public background check on the property, and it seems like in 2015, the house was torn down and completely rebuilt. But it does list that the closest junior high school is Paul Revere Junior High. This was April Atkins' house almost 70 years ago. Now, no one from her family has lived in this property since, and it has been sold multiple times. It's actually also been rebuilt at least twice. Lastly, I was able to find a marriage record, and it states that April got married at the age of 18 to a man named Richard D. Schuyler, who was 34. Honestly, after this marriage record, the only other record I found on April Atkins was a disability claim that got denied. That same record also stated that she unfortunately passed away December 15th, 1987. She was only 45. Look, there's no doubt that this was an interesting woman, but she didn't just disappear. Her records just got a little bit more complex to follow. And the tricky thing with ancestral websites is very similar to Wikipedia. You can edit these. And that is a feature, it's not a flaw. It allows for people to update their own family records. But what's happened here is that April was listed as April Patricia Atkins. But then there's another correction altogether, which says her entire name went from April Rose Schuyler to Simone Montoya, which I believe is likely an error. That or she completely got a new identity. There you guys have it. That's what I was able to find on April Atkins. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and follow if you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in the next one. See you guys later.